In this lab, I'm going to show the Captiva process, how to design a Captiva process. So which will we are going to take one sample use case. So this is my questionnaire document, so financial questionnaire document, which have some basic data, like document have some reference number, which is a barcode, some date is there, so sort code and account number. So these are the information we are going to capture, and some is the checkboxes also is there, the checkbox data also we will capture. So this is a questionnaire document. So user will the sample use case, user will scan a couple of documents. Based on this template they will scan. So ultimately after that, so it's supposed to be auto classify. So based on this template it will auto classify, and based on the recognition rules it will just extract the required all the data, whatever data we will require from here we will extract those data, and after that it will go and export into the file system. So we can just, while exporting the file system, we will convert this image into the PDF, searchable PDF. So that's overall the process we are going to design now. To do this in this demo, so we are going to create a document type, and we'll create a document fields, like different segments and group box. And once we save the document type, we will design the form layout, so how the document layout should be like that. So, and we'll deploy this document type, and we'll create a capture flow. So, and we'll install the process. After deploying this process, so we'll open in the setup mode all the modules, and we'll do the required setups for each module. Once it is done, we will just push everything into the server. So once done, so we will just test run to end the created process. So to do that, initially basically you need to open a designer. So I log into my designer, opening my designer here. So once you log in, you can see this screen. So usually you need to connect to your server here. So before I start, I'll do the couple of things here. So I'm going to first configure my system. So my project system I'm going to configure. Here you, in the drop down, you select a new capture system. So I'm going to select a PNB is my capture system. It's capture system name, and I don't want to copy any samples to my process. So my capture flow system, I'm going to select it and deselect this and click on save. So it will create the capture system. So in the system we will configure all the required information required, whatever the configuration settings, whatever the capture flows or like document types. So in the left side you can see all these profiles you can create, like import profile, image processing profile, image conversion profile, like recognition profile, document types, export profile, and capture flows. So capture flow, it's a bit sort of similar like your workflow, the Captiva workflow. So where you will define the document types, and based on the document types, first we will create a sample recognition project. So later I will show you this, that is the purpose of this. But for the time being, I need to configure this first, the default. So once it is created, right, you're supposed to log into this your capture system. Click on connect to login. So just click on update. So now it's showing that it's a connected. So it's connected to my servers. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to create some, just a minute. So I'm going to just create recognition project, because this is required now, because later I will tell you that what is the purpose of this. So but just now we are going to create empty recognition project. You select the recognition and click on new. This is not mandatory, but in our process we are going to automate, in the later stages we are going to automate. That's why I just create the default this empty recognition project. So this is a PNB. So this is a PNB recognition project. Going to click on save. So I have created a new project, right? So what I'll do now, the first step, So here if you want to overview on the system tab, so you have the overview. So overview contain like step 1, step 2, step 3. So set up the system, like you can create your capture system. And step 2, you will just come up with the all the profiles, whatever the profiles you want, like import or like image conversion or image processing. Later we will go through the each and every profile. And third step, once you've done all this, we will create a capture flow and we'll deploy and we'll test. And the system configuration tab, so you have some system related, the global related information, like especially we are using this for the connections to the external databases or external systems. If you see here, so you can see the database connection, file system connections, email connections, if you want to like connect to the email servers, and system like it's a style sheets. Okay, some other options like default options are there. So in the default options, if you go to other options, the global options, make sure that this recognition shared projects, right? So this is, we will tell this later. So what is the use of this one? Now in queries, so you can write your own queries, the database queries. So if you want any validation from the database, you can write a queries here. We will show that how to write a queries. So in the deployment, so whatever you write in your locals, right? So it will go and change it here actually. So you can go and here check that what are the locally changed and what are the server side changed. All this you can check from here and you can deploy into the server based on your changes. Some are, see here, you can see this, some are not available in the, not in the local, that means available in the server but not in the local. Some are locally changed, that means locally it was updated, some changes. That's the purpose. So we will select the whatever the changes, or you can select all, and we are going to deploy into the server. So something like we will do later. So this is all about these tabs. Whenever you change, you can go and click here to save your application. And whenever you wanted to move these changes to the, like upload to the server, you can click here. So when you click here, it will upload to the server. That is overall about this designer. So now the designer contains the capture flow and along with the all the profiles, you can, where you can create the profiles. So I'm going to copy my test images into one of the folder. Here I'm using all the test images. These are the questionnaire templates. I have one template which have the two documents. This is a template one. Both are same template, but this is a questionnaire one and questionnaire two. Now, so once you connect to the server, right? So we created our like a PNB system, the capture system. Now we need to create a document type. So we are going to create a new document type. So here you click here, document type, click on new. So here we can select the, just enter the document type. So this is PNB like a questionnaire. So here I'm going to select my recognition, the empty project. So later we will show the what is the use of this one, why we tag this document type to this project. Then just you can simply just save this. Now this by default it will create one field. So I'm going to change the field name to different one, document. If you see this our sample image, so we are going to capture this one, document date, sort code and account number. All this we are going to capture from this. So I'm going to this one, make it as document date. So this is a data type is date. I'll select the date. So editable and make it as required. And input mode. So okay. Now date and time format I will change it to long. So here date and time format I'm going to change this to long, date long, and label I'm going to change it to date. Instead of document date, just I'll putting the date. So alignment I'm going to change it to right. Okay, I'll change it to left. It's okay, no problem. Later we will change this. Now all about this. Now we are going to similar way. So we will going to add other fields. So you click on here the plus symbol if you want to add more fields. There's a field, so you can see the list of like text box, a drop down list box, or checkbox. Okay. If you go to controls, you can use the text box. There's a group box, control, a button, and image. As a segments, you can the set of fields. You can make it as segment, and also you can, if you want like a tabular format, so you can insert the table also. So these are, now we are going to use the text box. So this is for my sort code. The second value going to use the sort code. So same way we will do the all the configurations. So editable, it's required field, and sort code. Yeah, this label will put as a sort code. Label position top, we'll keep in the top. Now the same way we will add one more field, account number. We'll add the account number. So this is also editable and a required field. So user can edit, but it's a required field. And label we will put account number. Later we can, you can play with this all the style sheets, different how you wanted to manage your form. Now I'm going to add like some more fields. I'm going to add one segment here, control. So when you create, so by default one field will be created here. So I'm using this as a response, the question response label, and I'm going to change that first information, the first segment information to this is a customer information. There is a customer information and a questionnaire response. Now, so we are going to change this field to the drop down list box. Select this. So we will name it to the issue type. So control type, we will change it to the drop down list box. So instead of text box, it's drop down list box, we will change it to list box. And also we are going to add the choices, the list box choices. So currently we are going to manually enter these fields. Later we can see automatic how you can enter this. So what is a change query, balance inquiry related query, and transaction related query, and others. Right. And other. So label we change it to issue type. Now we will add this once you select this issue type. So we will the response we will add into the one separate group. All the responses will group together. So that's why we are going to add one control box. It's a group box. Go to control and we'll select the group box. Why is it's a response satisfaction response. So my group box name. So you can just keep it that default. Other options. Now we are going to add three more drop down list under this group box. So you go and click here, add control, drop down list box. I'm going to name it this one, where time satisfaction. Okay. And label I'm going to change it to time satisfaction. The values I'm going to add my default values. What is your response like? Very dissatisfied, dissatisfied, neither satisfied, very satisfied. Okay, now we are going to add one more drop down list as a courtesy satisfaction. If you see here in the form, we are going to capture all this information. As a time satisfaction, what is your like very satisfied, dissatisfied, dissatisfied, neither, like satisfied and very satisfied is a time satisfaction. And next was a courtesy satisfaction, like what is your option, all this, right? So next one is a response satisfaction. So we are going to add those. Now we are going to add a courtesy satisfaction. You go and click on add field drop down list. So courtesy satisfaction, So label also, I'll put that. Let us see satisfaction. And values, default like a choice list. I'll put the same list of values here. Now I'm going to add the third drop down list, which is a response satisfaction. So I'm going to change the label to response satisfaction, response based satisfaction. And the default, what is that? A default choice list. I'll add this list of my choices, and we are just saving this. Going to save this document type. So we've done all this. So go here, just click save this. Now if you go to the form layout, so you can see the layout. So we can just rechange the layout. So if you go to the form tab, so this is my layout. See, if you see the customer information segment, so these are the values, something like this, right? So if you use a questionnaire, the question response, it is like this. So what I'll do, I'll just drag this a little bit down. Okay, you can arrange like this, and this is a grouping, so just you drag to enable this. And also if you want to expand this, when you can expand like this, but we will just make sure this will increase a little bit because we want to see all the values, right? So just expand this. Now if you go to customer information, also we will select all, and we make sure just now if you just click on preview, you can see the preview. So you can see something like this. So if you want to change, you just little bit change. So we'll just move up little bit this issue type, we will just make it. Okay, we'll just preview again. I want to make this, just want to show you that how this preview is working. Yeah, now it's okay. There's a date, sort code, account number, issue type. I'm going to show all this. Now we are going to save this again. Now if you want to use this document type, right, whatever document type we created here, if you want to use this, you have to deploy this into the server. Then only you can use this document type in your process or whatever, wherever you want to use this, so you can use this. So we are going to deploy this into the capture system, into the Infraxis server. To do that, so what we'll do, so we will just select this particular changed item, and we'll select the plus an upload button to upload these changes. So if you go to system, if you go to deployment, so here you can see our changes. Where's the document type? So we change the document type. Yeah. So I'm going to upload only this change PNB questionnaire into the server. You click on the upload. Now it will go and save into the server. Okay. Now once it is deployed into the server, now we are ready to create a capture flow. So now you click on the capture flow. Left side you can see the capture flow. Now we are going to create a new process. That is a like a PNB questionnaire process. Here go to capture flow. So click on new. So you will enter here. So PNB questionnaire. So process, right? So we will put the process. And you click on save to save this. When it is creates, by default it will create this default capture flow system, the capture flow, so which contains like a scan place module, the create where is a starting point. So the starting point is like a scan place. As a process step, there is currently no process step. This is the end, so where you can go and delete the batches. Okay, now we will add the completion module or the desktop module. I'm going to add this completion module. So under process tab, under process, between the process and end, so between these two we will add the, because this is a processing, so this once your scan is done, so it will going to start the process, your workflow will going to start. So my starting activity here like a completion, it's a manual activity, so manual user need to, it's attended module, right? So user have to log in and they need to complete this particular task, then only it will go to the next level. So now here if you see this one, if you click here, you can see the default assigned values. If you click here, so the pop-up will come and it will show the list of assigned values. Say scan place output image, it's passing to the completion input image. Whatever you scanned image, right, it will going to pass to your like a desktop completion module. So in the completion module you can see this value in the completion module. So now we are nothing to do much on this, so just we will save this and later we will update this process, but for the first flow just we will use this default option. Just click close this, and just go and save this process. Click save. It will save the process. Here in the drop down list, once you save your process, it's locally changed. So we are going to install this process into the server. So you go and install new process. Make sure you check this option, install new process. It will ask you the process name, PNB questionnaire process. So we are going to just save this. So you click on save this. So it will save the, so it will, now it is going to deploy into the server. So once the process is deployed into the server, now you can, after that you can open in the setup mode, and we can do some like configurations on the server, on the process level. So it will take some time, so we'll wait for that. The process is saved, so I'm going to just close this, or you can go to here, into systems, go to deployment tab. It's a locally changed process, so PNB questionnaire process. Okay, we will select this and click on upload. So before this uploads, I will just make sure there is a bug, so I'm going to delete that. Make sure users. So anyway, first we will save and we will see if the issue happened, then we'll come back and we'll delete from here. Documents, Captiva, PNB, global data, XBP. So this directory, it sometimes it may not overwrite. So we will just click on upload. Okay, it's uploaded. Now we upload the capture flow into the server. We compile and we upload it into the server. Now we will open the setup mode. So the scan place. If you open the capture flow, so make sure here you need to select the installed process, because when you set, otherwise it's the setup mode you cannot see, it will disable. See module settings, it will disable. So you need to select, because just now we installed into the server, right? Now you need to select that installed process. So this is a PNB questionnaire, my installed process. Once you select this, you go and open this scan plus settings. You click here, so it will launch the scan plus settings. So the default options. If you go to levels, you can see the list of levels. We already know that if you know the theoretical part, when you go through this, we already see all these options. Now I'm going to scanner. So I'll use the same this one, because I already have this. Or if you want to create, so you can create that. So we will see this. Okay. So modify scanner settings. So click on advanced. So use the directory. So image directory, so batches, a questionnaire. So from here the batches will be taken. Click OK. It's already there. Just click apply this. Click OK. So also we will just forget to set the batch schema. So you want to put that automatic naming convention. So for that we will do some batch naming convention. Whenever the batch creates, by default it will create like with the data and timestamp with your process name. So instead of that one, so we will put some custom batch name that you can do it from the auto batch creation tab. Here auto batch creation tab, you go here. So batch name schema. So I'm going to add like it's a PNB questionnaire, right? So we'll go to add that name PNB like underscore questionnaire underscore at the rate of this is index as a running number of your document underscore at the rate now sorry now which is give the current date and timestamp index and now the file name. So okay, process schema noted because we have only one process. Now once you set this, you just click on apply and click OK. So click apply, click on OK. Now we will open the completion module in the setup mode. Right click, module settings. So before module settings, I will check this. What is the level for this? So I'm going to use this in the level 2, not in level 1. So I want to show the entire documents for the user. So I selected, I change it to level 2. Now I'm going to open module settings. So here, so just make sure like default this theoretical in the guides which I gave you, right? So that there is already there. What is the explanation of all these options? But only I'll tell here what are the required. So in the permissions, you make sure check this manage document structure, delete folds, okay. So this one, just you make sure just select this option, organize documents. So here the theory is there. So what is the purpose of that one? User can rearrange the documents and you can split, manually split and add the pages and do the stuff. The remaining setting we will do in the later. Okay, you just click OK. So now here you can just click on edit installed process. So I'm going to select this edit installed process. So just financial PNB questionnaire process, yes, and click on save. take some time. Now we done in the like most of the first lab, so now we will deploy everything, right? So we're going to test this, so we will scan documents and we'll see that, make sure it's open the, it's going to the completion module. Now I'll open the scan plus module. I'll close this image first. Scan plus. So login. Scan test lines. Click on create new batch. So I'm going to select my batch. It's a PNB questionnaire. Click on create. Just maximize this. So click on import because I have not connected to my scanner. So I'm going to select click on open. So I scanned this document. So the preview you can see the right side and thumbnails you can see in the middle. So if you select any thumbnail image, so the right side you can see the preview for that respective thumbnail. This is like a scan module where if you are connected to the scanner, so you click on scan module so that you can see the, you click on the scan pages, so you can, it will connect to the scanner and it will scan from there. So currently we not have scanner, so just we imported the files. Now I'm going to submit this batch by clicking on the finish batch. Now it will go to the server. The batch will now it's uploaded to the server. Now the next, what is the capture flow? What is the next activity? So our next after scan, it's going to the completion. So we will log into the completion module and we will see whether the batch is there or not. Our batch is scanned here now. You can see here PNB questionnaire. This is one we scan, right? So you click on get work, so it will launch your batch. There you can see the pages what you have scanned. see, you can see this, and there's a two pages. The document type was the choose type as document type not recognized. So this later we will discuss about this. Currently what I'm doing, so I will select the second document, right click, a new document, or you can go to here document, new empty document, or new document. So it will create the new document with that page. Now if you select here document, choose document type. So what is our document type? So our document type, so PNB questionnaire. So once your document type is selected, right, so you can see the right side, you can see the a list of values, the document type related values. Still processing. Okay, the preview is not enabled here, so later we can change that. Now document type we will choose here PNB questionnaire. Okay, this is my image, the first image. It's a bit slow. So the sizes, it's not enough. This is a preview. This is a thumbnail. Right side you can see the preview, and the bottom you can see the index fields. Right. So later in the next lab, so we will modify these settings. So here you can see some error warnings, so that some required fields are not indexed. So if this one is a 10th Feb 2010. You can see it here, and you can enter the data. The sort code 993821. So account number like 99384732. Okay, so currently we are doing manually all these steps. In the later next lab, so what we do, we'll make it as this as automatic, so auto extract from here and place it here automatically. So this okay, my issue type, change query, okay, very satisfied, and courtesy is also satisfied, and response also satisfied. So these are the four. I key in all the data. So if you go to the second, see this one is now there's no warning here. So you can see the warning. That means it's not completed. The document index was not completed because we keep it some mandatory fields. There's a 5th Feb 2010. The sort code like 78-87-2. Account number 127-854-56. So issue type, you can change this time different options. Satisfied, neither, and dissatisfied. So I all key in the data. So once you've done this, right, so you click on this finish here. You can see in the top right corner, so finish task. So once you finish, the document will be, it will the task will go to the next stage. So currently we not define next stage. So in the later session, so we'll add the next step also, like export to the file system, or export to documentum, or export to any other systems. You click finish. That's it, done. So for that is, so in the next lab, so we will continue the continuation of this part, this workflow. Thank you.